Hello, friends. My name is David Trotter. I'm the founder and publisher of Awaken Magazine. And today we are continuing to celebrate the launch of our latest anthology book, Sacred Bonds, Heartfelt Stories of Mothers and the Lives They Shape. And this book is currently #1 bestseller on Amazon in its category. We're super excited to celebrate these 17 authors. Let's see, here in the hardback, you got all of their great faces here on the book jacket. And we also have the paperback, which is beautiful as well. And of course, the Kindle is available. I'll give you the location of where you can check that out. You can go to awakenmagazine.com/sacred bonds. That'll take you right to the Amazon page. And we would be honored if you would purchase a copy, leave a review. You're going to love it. This is a great gift for Mother's Day. It really is heartfelt. So what we've been doing each day is featuring several of our 17 authors, giving you a chance to get to know them and hearing about their perspectives on motherhood. And you're going to love our conversation today. So let us welcome, applause, 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 Susan and Julia and Ragan. Welcome. Good to have you guys. I got to get some sound effects going on. I got to figure that out. Well, it's great to be with you guys today. And the book is absolutely extraordinary. These stories range from, I love my mom, she was amazing, this was great, to, oh my gosh, my mom tried to kill me. And literally, like just, I mean, the full spectrum of experiences with motherhood. And not only that, mothering. I want to make sure that in our conversation today, we include the concept of mothering because some of us on this planet don't necessarily give birth biologically to a child, and yet there is a huge role of mothering in our world to other humans, to fur babies, to plants, to the world, and it oftentimes even includes those of us who are male playing a mothering role in some way. So I want to make sure that's part of our conversation today. So Susan, I would love for you to kick us off by just sharing a little bit about yourself and how you are serving the world currently.
I am a retired nurse midwife. I practiced for 40 years, and I'm in a transition going into my retirement, and I've been searching for what my mission is now. And I realized that I do have a gift, I think, working one-on-one with people and offering classes for people who are going through major life transitions. So I'm developing a website, and I will be offering classes for pregnant women and then one-to-one sessions for people going through loss, grief, divorce, marriage, becoming a parent, those kinds of things.
Wonderful. Thank you, Susan. Julia, hey, it's good to see you, my friend. Julia is, I'll let Julia share about her life. I could share lots about Julia, so go for it. Who are you and how are you serving the world?
So I am a designer. I have worked a lot in editorial like Cosmopolitan and Vogue Russia. And I always loved print, books and magazines because for me, it's not just how it looks, it's a part of the story. And now I am honored to be a part of Awakened magazine, which I really enjoyed. So yes, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, and so you're from Russia, but yet
Yes,
where's your family living now?
Yes, originally I'm from Russia. I live in Spain now, and I lived in California for 4 years.
Yeah. So Julia is actually part of our Awaken Magazine team and plays an integral role. And she does the layouts for all of our print magazines and for our books. And so because she is a mother, I really wanted her to participate in this book because I just knew it would be special for her. She loves her mom and she has a great kid. And so anyway, thank you for participating in this, Julia. Really appreciate it. Ragan, tell us about you and who you are and how you serve the world.
Okay, thank you. My name is Ragan Thompson. Yes, it's been such an honor to serve also in the capacity of working with Awakened in all different ways. I do serve currently as a spiritual teacher and healer and I do a lot of local work as well as global work. Really, just my initiative is to bring forth restoration to the human heart worldwide. So lots of different endeavors, initiatives I'm working on. I do individual work within myself consistently, and so I can be as clear as possible to help with others. And I love this endeavor so much, this wonderful book, because some of my most beautiful inner work that I've done is to heal my relationship with my mother. So it is truly an honor and a blessing to be able to write this chapter because it's been such an incredible journey. And I feel like I've come. Oh, did I?
Well, I'm trying to get your mom in
Oh,
with
okay.
us, and we've had some technical challenges this morning.
Okay.
Whoop.
Okay.
Oh, she's gone. Okay, we're going to try one more time.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
my mom has been trying to join everyone, and we're just trying to get her on. So
Nancy, can you hear us? Oh,
please.
Nancy, can you hear us? Oh, I thought I heard her voice. Maybe it was just my own echo or something.
Oh,
Um, well,
almost.
we'll
Love
let
you,
her.
mom.
Yeah. Hi, Mom. Good to have you.
I was just talking about you if you can hear me. Maybe you can just stay on and listen. I don't know. But no, I'm so grateful to be here, David. And it really is such a wonderful blessing to be able to write this chapter. And my mom's wrote a chapter as well. So we've been on a really not always an easy journey, but it's landed in a really beautiful place. So I'd love to share that with folks. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mhm.
Nancy, can you hear us? All right, we don't hear her. We'll let her hang out there. Hopefully, she'll join in.
Okay.
So, I want to begin our conversation talking about motherhood and mothering. What does motherhood or mothering mean to you? And then, how did that inform the chapter that you shared in the book? And as I mentioned, the book is a wide cross section of incredible stories of affirmation, of transformation, of healing, of love. It's really powerful. So, Susan, would you mind what does motherhood or mothering mean to you, and how did that impact the story you shared?
Mothering is a sacred relationship as far as I'm concerned. And my daughter is a total blessing and gift to my life. Being her mother has been the most important thing that I've done. And in my chapter, I shared some very personal things that I had never really talked about publicly before. So
Wow.
it was a huge deal for me to write. I'd had an abortion when I was very young, and I'd had a dream prior to doing that. And she came to me in my dream and told me that it was okay and that she would join me in the future. And like I said, I've never shared that. So it was a huge deal. And when she was born, she was the exact baby that had presented in my dream. And the love just welled up immediately. And then I also shared some things from my professional life working with other mothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Susan. One of the beautiful things that Julia has done in the book is we feature the author here on the beginning of their chapter. So here's Susan, The Soul Knows, dance choreographed among the stars. And then at the end of the chapter, the authors had the opportunity, they didn't have to include a photo of them and their mom or child. And there's Susan and her daughter. This was just like last week, is that right?
Right. That was the day of her birth. And she is now 43 years old.
Okay, it's a couple of years ago. All right. And then, of course, we have a great bio for each one of our authors here with the QR code where you can get connected to them. And we really do encourage you to connect with the authors as their story resonates with you and becomes a mirror for you to see your own life, just to reach out and say, thanks so much for sharing. And as we began our conversation, many of them are serving our world and you in particular ways that are, in alignment with their experiences. And so you can even work with them. So that's fun. Thank you, Susan. How about you, Julia? What does mothering or motherhood mean to you, and how did that impact your story?
At first, as a mother, I really thought I had to do everything right. like have all the answers. And for me, motherhood has been a lot about learning to let go of control. And the life didn't really go straight because we had two big moves from Russia to United States and from United States to Spain, and it changed a lot for me. And I
And for your
realized,
son, my goodness.
yeah, definitely. And I realized that I just can't control everything. So now I feel it more like being present and growing together with my son. And it's not about trying to lead, but walking next to him.
Which was the theme of your chapter, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so great. How about you, Reagan? What does motherhood or mothering mean to you? How did that impact your chapter?
Thank you for asking. So I do have 5 children. So I've had an opportunity to grow and evolve through motherhood in a way that I don't know. I sense that my experience with my mom really informed that so greatly because I really was challenged by feeling as a child, at least, not really felt to be seen or heard with affection and an emotional connection that felt really nourishing to me at that time. Um, I was driving myself to be maybe good or perfect or all the dimensions of trying to get love somehow in that family, but I definitely struggled feeling really seen and heard for who I was. So I do feel that my initiative as a mother has been to really open up the space for them to be themselves, to hear them, um, to really practice like, giving guidance that I obviously did not feel like I received. I boundaries. I mean, just a lot of it was almost like my family, including my mom, thought, she's great, she's fine, she's wise, she's driven, she's got this. But I needed a lot more focus. I was struggling internally greatly. I felt like I was emotionally starved in that for a while. So I, had friends to help me and I had sports and all these things, but I really was struggling with feeling nourished in my home. So now as a mother, I try to be that for my children. I try to
Mhm.
show up as nourishing as possible and loving as possible. It's not always easy. I mean, I've struggled because back in the day, I didn't even know what that was. I was like, I had no template. I was like, what is this that I feel? This love, this, wanting to hold space for them and nourish them and not try to fix them and consciously parent and, be emotionally available for whatever they're going through, not tell them what they need to be or do. Just like open up the state space for them to choose what's in the highest for them, but as well guide them and so it's a very different parenting style than I received. So in some way, I guess what I experienced, I've chosen to do it differently. But I also feel there was a lot that I am bringing in that my mom brought in as well, which is also being of service to the world at the same time. And then also learning to balance those two together with parenting. She definitely was in service greatly to helping others when I was a child. And so I see the value in both and how to create a sacred dance of both of those together and to balance that well. So there's some that I've chosen to bring into my parenting style, and there's some that I'm just doing differently. Yeah, yeah.
And for those of you who are curious what these two look like together, there is Reagan and Nancy having fun in the photo there at the end of their chapter. So we put their chapters back to back. You get Nancy's perspective first and then Reagan's. So
Mhm.
yeah, thank you guys. That's so fun to have a mother daughter participating together in this project.
Yeah, it's
Um,
wonderful.
so I want to ask you, what is it about motherhood or mothering that you wish was talked about more openly, more freely, more authentically? Is there a topic, an aspect of motherhood that you go, geez, we're just not talking about this enough? It doesn't get enough airtime. So, Susan, is there something that comes to your mind?
Yeah, definitely. The fact that we are a soul in our human body. And, I'm 75 years old. And in most of the first half of my life, no one would even talk about a soul or acknowledge. There was a lot of questions as to whether or not we even soul existed. And so I've kind of watched the world shift and change, and we're talking about it now. And I think it's extremely important because I have watched parents try to mold their children, similar to what Reagan was talking about. And I feel like we need to honor the soul of the baby. And because I feel like we're each born with a purpose and a mission. And sometimes we miss the mark because of the way our parents direct us.
Recognizing that we all have a soul. And I love that you honoring how did you say that exactly? Honoring the baby's soul?
Yeah, honoring the sacred soul that the baby is. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that is so powerful. It is powerful. Like holding a child, I mean, can be magical in and of itself because it's like, oh my gosh, this little life, and it's amazing. But if you add that complexity to, wait, there's a living soul inside of this baby that like just arrived on the scene, it adds like a whole different level of
exactly.
respect. I'm hearing a respect from you is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's it
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Beautiful. Yeah. How about you, Julia? Is there something in the whole world of motherhood or mothering that you wish was more talked about more openly?
Yeah, I think not enough people talk about how much it changed you internally. Not just your routine or your life, because a lot of people talk about that, but you as a person, your beliefs, your expectations, all of that. And also, how often what we think care is actually coming from our fears, because we have a lot of fears and we thinking we are caring about our kids, but we just scared. And that was a main thought for me.
So, what I heard you say there at the end was we think we're caring for our kid, but there it's actually fear
Yeah.
that's driving that. I know I will oftentimes tell silly stories about my mom because I felt like she really projected a lot of fear on me. Was like I could never have any clothes that were white, like I'm wearing a white shirt right now, no white shorts, like just no white, I could have white underwear. That's all I could have. So nobody would see it, but it's like, you're going to get that dirty. And that was like a metaphor for like that,
Yeah.
So is there something in with your child, Daniil, is that right?
Daniel, yes.
Yes. How old is he again?
He's almost 10 now.
Almost 10. Yeah. And he has had two big moves. I mean, he is on an adventure of a lifetime. What is it that if you don't mind me asking, what is it where you thought you were caring for him, but really it was kind of more your own fear? Is there something that comes to mind?
Um, we had a fun story which I wrote in my chapter. One day we came to school and I saw his classmate wearing two different shoes. So one from one pair and another from different pair. And I was so bummed about it. I was, oh my God, how can do it? And when I thought more about this situation, I just realized it's nothing about it. It's just my scare because I've been scared how people think about him, what people would say about him, and it's just in my head. Nobody cares about it.
I think you said, like, how could a parent do that to
Yeah.
their child, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is funny how those little things of we think are so important that it's like, you know. it's not really a big a deal. Thank you. How about you, Reagan? What are something around mothering or motherhood that you wish was more talked about more openly?
Um, a few things, but what's coming forward is, I have felt that every year that my children have been, whatever age they've been, it's it's been a constant mirror between myself and the age of which I was at that moment that they're at that age. Like the mirroring of the inner child has been such an extraordinary blessing, but challenging.
Can you
I
give me
mean,
an example of that? Like,
yeah.
what did that look like for you?
So, I mean, I experienced so many times when they were first born, for example, that they would be, asking me for juice, like, and I'm tired, right? And I'm like, I don't have the energy. Like, Mom, I want some juice. I want some juice. Everybody's yelling this. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling this retraction in my heart. And I'm going, I don't have the patience, but it's more than that. There's like a child within me that's saying, nobody got my juice.
Mm.
I get my own juice, and I was like, where's this voice coming from? And then I that began my journey of so much healing work because I first off I wanted to show up very clear and loving and conscious and patient with my children. That was my inspiration. But I also started to feel that child that was within me that was starting to get activated in moments as I was with my children. I'd suddenly feel it was way more than about the juice. There was way more than about feeling tired. I was feeling that I didn't feel appreciated. I had a part of myself that didn't feel supported. I had a part of myself that didn't feel nourished. And I needed to do that inner work to start being able to support my children as they deserve, because I felt like a hole in my own self that was still wanting the things that I'm giving them. They're like, you need all these things, but there's a part of myself saying, I didn't get those things, so it's hard to
Mhm.
give you these things. So it was really powerful, because then I did jump right into some really solid inner work with my inner child, and that became my most important work. And it went on for many years. And I stayed with it through the entirety of their childhood. So that way I could
Mm.
keep kind of meeting them at the age. Because every time they'd get older, I'd meet up with the 2-year old. I'd meet up with the 3-year old. I'd meet up with the 4-year old. Oh my God, what was it like when I was 5? I'm like, it just kept going. So in a lot of ways, what I'm also saying is the crucible of like parenting has been my greatest healing teacher. Like it's really helped me heal my inner child for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Reagan. That's beautiful.
Thank
The thing that comes to my mind, and I've shared this on one of our previous live streams, is how do we create a space of safety for women and their partners who are going through the process of trying to get pregnant and or losing, pregnancies along the way. For the mother of my children, we, really went through a challenging time getting pregnant and saw the weight of that and the feeling of like, I don't know if I could talk about that. Like, can we talk about this openly? Losing several children, even at 16 weeks, and like having the community where that can be openly talked about. And I think that is not only a cultural issue of having the ability to talk about it, because people don't know what to say. You go back to work and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, or you're trying to get pregnant and you're quiet about it because, oh, the in vitro didn't work. And, it just creates so much awkwardness and like, can I say this? Can I not say that? And it really, I think, depends on the people that are surrounding you, like, because you can create relationships where that is a safe place, to talk about these things. But that's what I wish was talked about more openly, as part of the journey of getting pregnant and having a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love to shift and talk about your experience with the writing process, how you wrote your chapter, where you wrote it, what it was like emotionally, relationally, spiritually. Have you shared your chapter with your loved ones? Even that. So let's see. I think I hear music coming from somewhere.
I'm sorry, it's my phone. I
Oh,
thought
hey,
I
no
turned
worries.
it up.
Yeah, no worries. Maybe it's Reagan's mom.
And ethers. Yeah.
We should have had Reagan. You just call your mom and hold it up to the microphone. Although you're using your phone, so how would we do
I would
that?
have to. I could have used my computer. I mean, we could have figured something. Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah. Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So, talk to me, Susan, about your writing process for your chapter. What was that like? And yeah, tell us about it.
Okay. So I had decided that one of the things that I really wanted to do was to write. And for me, it's been part of a healing and awakening journey, um, to come to kind of who I am at this point. And I had just published a chapter in another book. And then I became aware of you, David, and Awaken Magazine. And it was perfect. It was like, I hopped on it immediately. It was like a wonderful opportunity for me, and it was right up my alley. So you accepted me as an author, and then I started, and I put the intention when I started that it would be the absolute truth of who I am and my life. And so as I wrote, that came forward. But if it started to deviate, I would stop and go back to it on another day, because I wanted it totally to be the truth with a capital T.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
And such a courageous chapter for you, sharing something so
it was.
personal for the
Yes.
first time. Yeah, so
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I've asked you this before, but you were you call yourself a midwife. Is that the correct term? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And so how many babies do you have a count? Like, do you have a tally of how many babies that you've helped deliver?
Not an actual one, but I went back at one point and tried to figure it out, because I worked both doing home birth and birth centers as well as very busy hospitals. And so I think over 40 years, it's about 5,000 babies that I
That
assisted the
that
moms.
is absolutely amazing. I mean, that blows my mind. Yeah, that's so fun. Yeah.
It is, for the most part, it's fun. There can be,
Yeah, I'm sure there are
as you were
parts.
speaking of, yeah,
Yeah,
there are parts
very
that are not
challenging.
so fun,
Right, right, right. So painful, so challenging.
but
I want to
it was
read,
an honor. Yeah.
yeah, I want to read a paragraph here that you've written in your chapter. You say, life is sacred, life is complex. It is much more than our current Western mind and understanding can comprehend. Love is the unseen energy of life force which connects it all. My experiences illustrate the mystical sacred bond between a child and their mother. Sacred contracts and relationships exist between souls residing in unseen realms and human beings within our planetary existence. Birth and death are the gateways, the beginnings and endings in which the soul connects with human life form, where heaven meets earth. So good. Yeah, so good. Thank you so much, Susan. Yeah, what a wonderful chapter. I can't wait for people
Thank you. Thank you
to
so
read
much.
it. Yeah. How about you, Julia? What was your writing process like? I know English is not your first language, so we talked about that.
No.
Like, how would you how would you write the chapter? I said, I don't think a chapter in Russian is going to be a good idea. It's probably not.
Yes, so I wrote it in Russian and then I translated to English because it was easier for me. And it was, first of all, I want to say thank you to give me this opportunity. And secondly, I want to thank me because I said yes to it. Because honestly, it was a very deep and personal experience, and I didn't expect it to be so healing for me. But it really was. And it made me kind of stop and look back and realize how much inner work I done. Because in everyday life, you just don't see it. And you are busy with moving forward and stuff like that, with work, everyday stuff, and you just don't see this work that I have done. And Writing just slowed everything down and made it visible. And it was a stream of consciousness that I just put into a chapter. And yeah, it was really healing experience for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. You're right. I often think about who my son was at the beginning when we started our adventures. Cautious, watchful, looking at the world from under his brows. And I'm struck by how much more openness, ease, and laughter I see in him now. Not because the world has become simpler, but because he has learned to feel confident within it. Sometimes it seems to me that motherhood is less about leading and more about simply being there, not protecting him from every fall and knowing all the answers in advance, but meeting each moment with honesty. And perhaps that is the most valuable thing I carry with me from this journey, the understanding that we are growing together and that maybe my son is teaching me just as much as I am teaching him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
it's beautiful. Here's a photo of you with your husband and son. So
Yeah, and the
great.
Hedwig. My son is a fan of Harry Potter.
Very nice. Very nice. Good. And how about you, Reagan? What was this writing process like for you?
Much like what she was sharing, more like a stream of consciousness, a easy write, because it feels very close to my heart, so deeply close to my heart. Um, I it's like almost like a little bit of a miracle. It's I mean, there was definitely a time where I absolutely um was kind of almost giving up on the possibility that I would heal my relationship with my mother. I did a ton of work internally to heal my relationship internally with my father first on the journey of healing. And then I kind of kept her over to the side, being like, yeah, no, I'll just focus on the dad stuff. So when I wrote this chapter after coming this far together, and we have done a lot of healing work together, and we've done, we've just cried together in sessions and healers and then she now lives a couple streets over as well. I mean, all of it's like I never saw that coming. So it's almost like when I was writing the chapter, I mean, I know the power of healing. I mean, I do healing work with people, but it's really been that's so beautiful, and it just really establishes even more faith inside me about the power of healing, the power of healing work. So when I was writing the chapter, it was like the whole time I felt it was almost like exhilarating. It's like, is this happening? So, and I got to write it in the way that I wanted to write it too, which is more poetic in some way. I feel like I dive into my heart, but I love to like bring in the energy and the vibration and the frequency of it. And because it's been very much like that. And now because it just feels so much more peaceful and joyful between us, and we can really have a nice time together. Yeah, that's helped my relationship with my children. So I share about that and how that's, um, I just basically know that anything and everything can be worked through. It was one of those things where you're like, I'm not sure about this one over here, but everything else can be healed. And I think the healing of your relationship with your mother, as far as I see, is so powerful. It's so helpful for your system, to feel that. And that'd be with mothers now and that are in this world with you physically or have transitioned. I think that work can happen even if they've passed on. So my mother and I have done speaking engagements together, mother-daughter engagements. David, I don't know if you're aware of that. We did that before the book. Before we even had this opportunity, we used to do mother-daughter speaking engagements many years ago. And that was while we were in the healing process. So now we're considering what we can do now after feeling like we're in a more, a healed relationship. I'm just wondering what will happen in those rooms because it was helping a lot of mothers and daughters. They were like, wow, this is so helpful. I have faith that I too can heal my relationship with my mom and have a better relationship with my children. So I've sensed that this work, the specific work of mother-daughter work, it's so incredibly precious, and it has not been at the forefront, I think, of the healing world as much because it's been a really challenging area. And I think it's coming to the forefront now because it really does just offers such immense shifting and changing inside you. And of course, we can see the benefit of how it helps our own children. It's really, really precious work. So I loved writing the chapter. I have shared it with my team. I have a few people on my team. I haven't shared it with anyone else. I've shared it with my mom. She shared her chapter with me. We were both, she's like, did you learn anything new? I'm like, I feel like I had heard her share a lot of that over the years, but yes, it did feel, like nourishing to read it. And it felt like I had compassion for her. I felt a build of more compassion. I sensed my team felt like, wow, how beautiful. Like, I just hope that the chapters are just inspiring to others, that they also could be like, you know what? Maybe I can like change in the realm of my parenting or my relationship with my mother. I too can experience that. So I'm hoping for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reagan.
Yeah.
I want to read a paragraph from your chapter. You write, please know you are allowed to want closeness, and you are allowed to want to be free of the past. It's okay to grieve the ways you were not held and to choose with fierce intentionality to hold yourself now. When you do that, the people around you, often miraculously your mother, may come with you. And if they do not, your heart can still expand into the sacred work of making peace with what is. There is room enough for both sorrow and joy, and in that space, the light you thought was lost can be found again. Wonderful. So good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So, if you could speak to a mom who is watching today or via the replay and she's feeling overwhelmed, she's in that space of mothering or motherhood. It could be the overwhelm of trying to get pregnant, the overwhelm of, as someone said a couple of days ago, the terrible threes. And maybe she's in the midst of teenage years. Maybe she is transitioning a child into college or kind of releasing them out into the wild, and she's feeling overwhelmed. What message of encouragement would you want to share with her today? Susan, would you mind sharing first?
I would first encourage her to sit quietly, maybe go out in nature, do some deep breathing, and relax her body. And then I believe that we are all where we're supposed to be with whatever is presenting itself, that it's part of the process that we go through as we grow through our life relationships. And I guess encourage and reassure in that way that this is momentary. It's not going to last forever. And you will develop what you need to get through this.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys have all heard that saying, the days are long, but the years are short. I mean, that is so true, like life, but especially with young kids. It's like, is this day going to ever be over? And then all of a sudden, they're 18. It's like, I wish I had more time. Yeah, so it's not going to feel like that forever, is what I hear you saying, Susan. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. How about you, Julia? What word of wisdom or encouragement would you want to share?
I would say that you are already enough. You are already enough good mother for your child, and you don't have to have all the answers. And just being there, it's already enough for them to be a good mother.
Presence. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Reagan? What word of wisdom or encouragement would you want to share?
and it's in regards to if they're going off into the world. What was your
No, if
question?
they're feeling overwhelmed as
Okay.
a mom in any stage of life, if they're feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, I mean, first off, overwhelm most likely is caused by something that's going on inside you that, is creating that. So most likely there's probably a little less time that you created for yourself, for self-care. And often that's the case for moms. It's like, we're like, we gotta give, we gotta go, we gotta do, and you gotta help. And it's like, without that balance of self-care, which, it's maybe like going to nature, like she was saying, breathing, whatever practice you have, if it's prayer, if it's a meditation, it doesn't have to be half an hour, it can be 5 minutes, and then you just drop in and you start to reconnect again. Because yeah, it's overwhelm is a product of the mind taking you on a ride that there's so many things you've got to do right now, and there's too much going on, and that is not the truth. There is always spaciousness that is available, because that spaciousness, that presence, it exists within you. So, when we get disconnected and overwhelmed, it means that we've gone outside of ourselves and we're really trying to like make all this be in control and fix it so we can feel better. But our presence, our spaciousness exists within us. So, like that dropped in state, it's really helpful to return to it in whatever way that you can. And I know that nature is a wonderful way. I love breath work. I think that just 5 minutes of deep breathing. I love prayer and meditation. So yeah, for whatever is in the highest for a mom, but that dropped in state, even if just for a few minutes, that overwhelm probably will dissipate pretty rapidly.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, just as a reminder, we are celebrating the launch of Sacred Bonds, heartfelt stories of mothers and the lives they shape, and just incredible stories from 17 authors. And currently, it's a #1 bestseller in its category in Amazon. And encourage you to check it out. If you go to awakenmagazine.com/sacred bonds, that'll take you right to the Amazon page where the paperback, the hardback, and the Kindle are available. And we have kind of a giveaway going on at the same time. If you purchase the Kindle version for $1.99, you can read it right there on your device. Just click read now. You don't have to have a Kindle device. Check out your friend or family member's chapter that you will definitely enjoy, and then leave a review on Amazon, and then just forward your receipt for Amazon and a screenshot of the review to hello@awakenmagazine.com, and you'll be entered to win a $500 Visa gift card. We'll have one lucky winner on May 11th. So check it out, awakenmagazine.com/sacred bonds. And it's an excellent gift. I really believe that for Mother's Day. This is a great gift to any mother or somebody who's in a mothering role in your life. And I think guys should read it too. One of the reasons why, I have a deep honor and reverence and respect for women in general, but to read these chapters, it will deepen your respect and increase the capacity of your heart to see what moms navigate and experience. And I would definitely recommend that book for everybody. So, ladies, it's great to be with you today. Yeah.
Thank
So
you
so
good.
much.
Thank you for sharing all of your wisdom and your stories.
Thank
you
you,
so much,
David. I just want to, you've given us so much. Thank you.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you so much, David, for everything. And it's nice to meet everyone today.
Yes.
All right. You guys have a